So, Cantarius, you are standing in front of the gate to Caspian's palace, holding a goat. Well, actually, I mean, technically, do we want to start there, or do we want to start, like, you guys are actually having the dinner already? Because if there's nothing interesting that's going to happen when you, like...
I mean, I don't think there's anything interesting besides the fact that, like, I bring him the goat, and I think we got that scene last time, right? Of just me bringing him the goat and being like, yo.
So I assume we're retconning the fact that I was supposedly gone while that was happening, talking to Trevor. Is that the case?
I mean,
because originally I was not there. So
I think okay. So I think actually the way this scene works out is Caspian, you come back from that, right? This is like directly after that. You come back, and a servant meets you as you like are walking in to like walking through the gates and so on and so forth. Like some sort of like servant walks up to you and says, my lord Caspian, there's someone waiting for you. They desire an audience.
Someone be... I don't remember what Caspian sounds like, so I'm just gonna go with it. Someone being whom?
The leader of the Crow Inquisitors, if I'm correct. Cantarius is his name. He seems
alone.
Yes. He seems to have a roast goat for you.
That's not a good sign.
He wishes to discuss something over dinner, I think. It was really rather unorthodox. I know we have dinner already prepared, but
yes. Where did you say you were keeping him?
He's in the waiting room right now. We took the goat and we're keeping it warm. But it's up to you. We can bring it out. We can set the table for you two to chat and eat it.
Why don't we hold off on that until I know what he wants?
All right, very, very good. Should we just be on call then to set up the dining hall if need arises?
Yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, my Siegfried.
Question?
Yeah.
Can I be back from
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
my event with Iris for this? So I'd like to be present if, not necessarily participating, just present.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I think you probably like, walking down the hallway like the other direction when Caspian like is entering. Or no, you're walking in from you're like another part of the courtyard, right? As he's like walking up the steps. So yeah, you notice that Alrik is here. He's back from his watching of Iris, so he probably has news from that.
Oh, Alrik, you've returned.
Can we hand wave this conversation for the minute? I don't know how that Iris thing went down, but I'd like to play that out of sequence.
The whole thing with Iris?
Yeah, I'd like to play that out, but since we're already on momentum here, can we hand wave the conversation between Caspian and I for now?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nice. Right, so like I think we see the beginning of that conversation like start, right?
Yeah, it like pans over as I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So you you get led to the waiting room and Cantarius is sitting there. What is Cantarius doing in this
quick question.
room?
Caleb, do you know
what am I doing?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, David.
Do you know what happened to Iris? Because that might help me.
I do.
If I could get a really vague overview of it, it might help me with Cantarius.
Hold on, Caleb. Caleb, wait.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, what is?
So he's
what is your plan with the overall? Iris's mission was to go off and talk to.
No, his mission was basically to go harass the armies and like caravans and whatnot of this neighboring lord guy.
Okay.
So like that's the thing, right? Like we don't have to know anything about that. I have an idea for it, but if Alrik wants to be a part of that in some way, then that's fine. I just have further direction I'd like to go with Iris before I. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
before I make a report to Caspian on what exactly went down.
Yeah. So. Yep, that's fine. So I think the vaguities of it are basically it's going well.
Okay. All right.
Right. Yeah.
That's all I needed. Okay. Thanks.
The vaguities. That's not a word. Goodness. I'm just making up words tonight.
just making them all
the charlatan,
abstract.
The charlatan
they are these days.
Yeah. Okay, so Cantarius, you're sitting in this waiting room. What do you look like? What are you doing? They took your goat.
Yeah, I'm a little upset about that. Usually when a man makes dinner, for another man, especially
they stone him?
opposing army. Wait, what? What's wrong with you?
I mean, usually they stone homosexuals in this period of time. I don't know.
What are you talking? Oh my gosh.
Josh is done. Josh is out.
Sorry, Josh. My bad.
Yeah, so I mean,
anyway,
they told you, Cantarius, that they were like gonna keep it warm, basically. So.
Right. But I mean, like, usually when a man makes an opposing army dinner, you know, they let you let the man eat, and you let the man prepare the food himself, kind of a deal.
I mean, I don't really think
I think that seems like the polite thing to do
in history, but
there's definitely precedent.
First of all, didn't you already prepare it? And I wasn't there, so it's not like you were going to eat it without me.
Yeah, that's
right.
True.
They're literally just keeping it warm.
I'm not. No, my character's not upset.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
Go ahead then.
He's just chilling. He's probably assuming that they're all trying to figure out what his game
Testing
is.
it for poison.
Right, and he's just kind of like, all right, well, let's just see how this goes. He's just, I mean, there's a chair. He's sitting, just, you know.
Is that something they can do?
Chilling.
They test it for poison?
I mean,
what?
You could do it with magic.
Feed it to a stable hand and wait for him to die.
No, like literally, like right. You have a food test. You have a food taster.
That's true. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you have a cupbearer and a food taster. Like that's the thing.
Okay. Sounds good. Someone's probably had a little bit of it just to make sure it's not. Yeah.
Correct.
So, Caspian, do you say anything to him? He's just sitting there.
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't where I was coming. I thought he was still describing himself. Yeah. So, I sorry. Where did you say you were? Like, what were you doing? When I come in?
I'm literally just sitting at the waiting room, just chilling.
Okay.
Just waiting.
Yeah. So I come in. Alrik, did you follow me, or did you want to? Did you have somewhere you wanted to go?
I'm good with just following you.
Yeah, shadowing him bodyguard style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, there's probably idle chatter going on. We're probably talking to me, and then we come in. I turn to look at Cantarius and say, "Oh, Cantarius, a servant told me you were waiting. He said you had something to speak to me about."
I would like nothing more than to thank you for your hospitality.
Oh.
I brought a goat.
Yes, they mentioned that.
Would you mind if we ate dinner? Unless, of course, you've already eaten.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't mind at all. I have the servants ready to prepare the meal whenever we say so. In fact, and I wave over to somebody, an attendant, basically.
Mm-hmm. They go off to make sure that happens.
Yeah. Why don't you come to me with me to the dining hall, and we'll discuss whatever it was you had on your mind. I trust you won't mind if Alrik joins us, and Gwyn. I imagine she'll be hungry as well.
Yeah,
sounds delightful.
As soon as you look at Gwyn, Cantarius, you pause, and a couple heartbeats, just kind of stand there or sit there and just
field test.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm just assuming that every time they look at Gwyn, everybody pauses slightly. We will only do a steal test if it actually matters.
To be fair,
I'm not trying to make an action that's time
sensitive at the moment.
Yeah, the worst thing that happens is we stand and drill for a second or two, and that doesn't matter. So, that's probably a good idea.
When we have these characters that are constantly causing them, we'll just assume that it always happens, because all it does is make everybody hesitate, and that doesn't matter unless someone's gonna die or someone needs to say something, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's kind of laborious, so
yeah, exactly.
It doesn't even give you tests. So
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, might as well. All right. I do the same. You know.
Yeah, so you guys set up. You go sit down for dinner and stuff then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So you see this, lavish feast laid out before you. Basically, what they did, Caspian, is that the feast that they were going to give you anyway, they just like replaced the main dish with the goat instead. And so you have all these other side dishes and stuff like that. And I think to you, right, like there's a way of doing these that like this is an art form, more or less, like the presentation of the meal, and you can tell that some cook had a very, very hard time replacing that main dish because it ruined the presentation of everything. Like there was a certain like color scheme that was happening,
right.
like a certain way they were presented, and this goat just like sits in the center, just it ruins everything.
Yeah,
and you know, I
get the feeling I don't pay this guy enough.
You notice that because like you're used to this guy's like art form, like laying out these meals, but no one else probably does. I think the cook just
so I think
really
he lets out a
briefly.
sorry,
we were talking over each other. He comes out just briefly and basically like bows to you and says, I hope you enjoy the meal, Sahib. And you can tell there's like tension in his voice, and he just like leaves. He's like, I can't watch this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think he says, you've done an admirable job, like acknowledging, like, I realized you didn't have the same thing you don't really have to work with. I think that's all. There's also an insinuation there, like him insinuating that he trusts that this person had it tested, that the cook is probably aware of.
Sure.
So if he hadn't, he'd be like, oh wait. Because obviously I don't know if he did or not. Oops. And so he says, I turn to Caspian, and once we get seated, I say, a goat, that's a rather unusual. It is unusual, right, in this area to have goats. Right?
Not necessarily.
I mean, they were pretty expensive, wasn't that? Because they were not. Like, there was like one guy in town. I had to like convince him to get rid of his ancestral goat. Isn't that what we decided?
Oh yeah. I think somewhere else in the region of Nasrin, goats are more common in terms of like herding. But like like no one in the town just like randomly has goats like lying around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I say that. I say a goat is an unusual course.
I would disagree.
Well, perhaps unusual for this area.
Getting off this dinner on a right foot, I see.
Yeah, I think he pauses as well. Perhaps an unusual dish for this area. Perhaps not where you're from.
Yeah, there's goats all over Serragon. Like, that's a common meal.
Right.
And I don't think I know where you're from, so I say, like, perhaps... I know the group is from Serragon, but I don't know where you're from specifically. So I say perhaps a common meal where you're from, like almost like a question. Like, where are you from?
Right. Goodness gracious, where am I from? What was that city called again?
Lucerta.
Serragon.
So you are native Serragon. You just have foreign blood, right?
Oh, yeah. I forgot that we ended up going to that city.
Yeah.
Yes, I have foreign blood in me.
Yeah, y'all grew up there, so.
Yeah, I mean,
you say?
Yeah, I say that, yeah.
You say you're from Serragon? It's a common meal in Serragon or whatever?
Yeah, I'm from Serragon. You want me? I'm from Serragon.
Says, I wouldn't have guessed it. Based on your complexion, I mean. He shrugs, like, whatever.
I just kind of frown, like, a racist comment.
It's racist to say your complexion isn't common in a Serrano city where it's not common. I don't think that's a racist thing to say.
Yeah.
Okay. You're clearly getting.
He doesn't frown as if he just frowns. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he takes hint as like, okay. So it was probably an awkward silence. So my servant indicated that you had something you'd like to discuss. I imagine it must be of some importance if you came alone and in person. he actually paused this long?
I don't know. I think he froze.
Did we just lose Connor? Yep, Connor froze. Okay. I thought he was just thinking really hard. Chase still playing this game. Here he's coming back a little bit. Not really. Never mind. You there, Connor? Nope. No, he's not.
Connor's
he's
dead.
Not there. Well, there he goes again.
No, there we go.
Okay, all right. So if you said anything, I didn't hear anything.
I didn't. I realized it right away.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm just trying not to totally screw up my character in this one sentence.
I mean, well, I was gonna say you could start off like slowly, but I forgot you're Cantarius. So that helps.
Yeah.
His two skills are intimidation and command.
Yeah, this is gonna go great.
And brawling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Caspian, I thought that it would just be nice for us to get to know one another. This may sound strange and maybe perhaps a bit childish, but I would like to think that through our cities converging here and for us showing an interest in settling here, that maybe we could become friends. And what better way for two men to become friends than over a goat?
Yeah, he says, well, I have, he says, it's always better to have friends than enemies. Though, I don't recall, were you intending to stay, so we established that you weren't staying permanently, right?
Right.
Okay. Says, though I wasn't aware you'd intended to have an extended stay. I mean, I knew he knew that you had asked about that, but
right. Oh, I'm not trying to overstay my hospitality here. Goodness, I just mixed up two phrases.
I knew what you
meant. I'm not trying to take advantage of your hospitality here. I'm simply trying.
He puts up.
Can I get oddly personal with you?
Oh, all right, never mind. He doesn't do that then. Yeah, he shrugs and he says, we're in good company. He looks over at Gwyn and Alrik like, yeah, I don't mind.
I glance over at Gwyn and shiver. No, so, how much have you heard about the Crow Inquisitors? And more specifically, how much have you heard about me? I'm sure your people have done some digging.
Well, most prominently, I've heard that you had a rather heavy hand in, I'm sorry, what was the guy's name that they overthrew? And did they kill him? Or what did they do? I don't remember. I just know they basically caused one of the towns to collapse.
I don't think we ever named the guy or really detailed it at all, yeah.
Okay.
So.
And did he die as a
up to Cantarius, I guess.
Result of that? Yeah, I can't remember what we decided.
Oh, was that way a long time ago in the campaign?
No.
Oh, it was
guy with the mirror.
No.
Okay, I was gonna say.
This is in the desert. Yeah.
It's something they did when they got here.
It's a long time ago. He overthrew a mayor by mistake.
Nav was his name. But
I don't know about that, yeah.
I'm confused about what you're asking.
So when you guys were running around, you overthrew one of these mayors basically, and I don't know because I don't know. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of sexual depravity he was into, and you basically rolled him. And I can't remember if you killed him.
Oh, that dude.
Or if you.
Oh, right.
What you did? I can't. Because that was a big
probably
deal.
Killed him.
Yeah. So
I don't see why we wouldn't have.
Yeah. What was the name of that town? Like, I don't know.
The name of the town was Adris.
We came up with the name. I think you wrote it in the chat, Caleb, but I mean, it's not terribly important.
Yeah, it's probably lost.
The town?
That was fast.
No, I don't think we named the town. I think we named the guy, but I think it's probably lost.
The town of Adris.
Now. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, it says, most prominently, I recall you had a rather heavy hand in the crippling of Adris, and a number of other small, shall we say, involvements in the politics of the area. And those that I speak with in the other towns have been, they have strong opinions of your group. But other beyond that, I know very little. And of course that you're from Serragon, which I've gathered.
That's all you know, huh?
The majority of it, yes. That and you appear to like goats, which I have no qualms with.
Well, that's very good then. I'm sure we'll get along very swellly then. That's not a sentence.
Honestly, swellly is the only word there that could have been replaced.
Yeah.
Just well.
Swimmingly.
Yeah, there you go. Let's just pretend you said that.
Swimmingly. But I feel like making swimming. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Alrik would at that point pipe up and say something to the tune of "I don't know how to swim."
No, okay. So, wait, does he actually say that?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think it'd be nice to have Alrik included in the conversation. So,
I'm still
no. But does Alrik actually say that though?
No. Actually, he's not.
Okay, I was about to say that's a little.
He's not going to play off the. He's not going to play that angle.
Okay, all right. Fine.
The dumb giant angle is not effective.
I mean, the most effective position to be in politically is one where people don't expect you to be dangerous. Well, and depending on your intentions, I guess. So, yeah. But I'm not saying that's. Yeah, I'm just saying it's an option. But yeah, I'm sorry. What was just said? Yeah, you said then we'll get along swimmingly, right?
Yeah. So pretty much what I wanted to do is just say, all right, well.
All right, you're gonna get personal. That's what it was.
Right. I once was somehow in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I was responsible. Or so the authorities claimed. I was responsible for the death of a prince. I was imprisoned and about to be put on death row. On the day of my execution, the church stepped forward, granted me clemency, if I would kill for them.
He laughs.
Why does he laugh? I'm not picking up on that.
Yeah, he just laughs to himself like, that sounds like the church.
Right.
Like
okay.
churches.
Especially the Church of Serragon.
Yeah, he doesn't explain that, but I think he kind of chuckles to himself. And if you ask about it, he'll explain himself.
I think Alrik kind of nods knowingly like, yeah, political machinations on large scale.
The horrid act of the church has marred my life, but at the same time it has grown me, changed me. You see, through that time I learned quite a bit about redemption, even though I had the worst example of what redemption looks like. The church, the giver of redemption, and myself, the one being redeemed. The two worst examples as far as the eye could see. But even through all of that, well, I'd just say I'm lucky to be here. And he kind of pauses a little bit and then just says, I'm sorry, I'm getting quite strange, but the main thing I wanted to say is, during that time I had quite a few people who were with me, and those were the original Crow Inquisitors. some of them, by the end, I considered to be my friends. But if I was being serious with myself, only one of them proved to be such a thing. And even now, we don't have as much in common as I would have liked.
So wait, are you referring to Theo or Antonius?
Oh, I forgot about Theo. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Theo. Yeah. No, it's only two of them.
Let's be honest.
Right, no. Only two of them proved to be much of friends at all, and, well, we don't have as much in common as I would have liked. Point being made, I have been very short on good friends my entire life. And the friends that I have made have, well, let's just say I didn't really try to make a friend. I was simply thrown into a situation. And it's not that I don't have people that I trust and people that I love. It's simply, Caspian and I have lived a long and lonely life. And I guess I've always been a forward one. Let me just tell you now, with the strange diversity going on in my camp right now, I seem to be short on friends. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, he pauses for a moment and says, well, it's true that the people we hold close to each other will either extend our lives significantly or significantly shorten them. Friends are certainly people to be chosen carefully. Though I'm afraid well, I guess he does understand what you're saying. So he says, so then are you extending an offer of friendship, Cantarius?
I believe I am, Caspian.
Well, now you understand, and forgive me if I misunderstand or have misunderstood, your experience as a leader, but in a realm of politics, even a small scale like this area here, systems like these, they have large ramifications.
What he's saying is he doesn't lean that way.
What?
Ignore me.
I was trying to figure out if you were making a joke that I hadn't picked up on, or okay. Usually when I say I don't lean that way, I mean something else.
Yeah, no, ignore me.
Okay.
Carry on.
You're fine.
Watching this back later, you might get it.
Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, he says, and you'll understand that my friends in this area, they don't think highly of you, at least the majority of them. I'm afraid if you and I are to be friends, there's going to have to be a change to that. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but I do think it shall take some effort. I don't know why I said shall. I haven't done that yet before, so I don't know why this character would say that now. But
forgive me, I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, perhaps some, and given they would probably be extremely dull and pointless at face value, but I'm afraid the Crow Inquisitors will have to make some show of faith. Not to me, necessarily. You've lived peacefully beside me for a long enough period of time that I don't believe that I have anything to fear from you, or you from me, but unfortunately, my word won't necessarily sway the others. So you may need to convince others that your friendship with me does not reflect poorly on me. You see what I understand? If you understand what I mean.
Uh-huh. What?
Does he say that? Or do you want
No, I'm honestly just not sure what you're saying.
So basically he's saying, like, you have to convince my friends not to dislike me for liking you. If you show my friends that you guys aren't actually as bad as they think you are, then it won't look bad on me for being friends with you. Basically, you want to be my lover, I'll give you my friend. Anyways, yeah, so...
please do that again.
No, so, yeah, you might wanna have a show of faith towards them to change their opinion of you so that I am free to, work with you, basically.
Change my opinion of you. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, publicly. Because, of course, it all matters on, face value, even if it's not actually what it is.
As in my people, or I don't say that. He's not concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean the people in charge are really everyone cares about. So
right. Right. Okay. So, all right, I understand.
And I think I look over at Alrik and I say, do you have a suggestion, Alrik? Something they might do to change the opinions of the people and subsequently their leaders? Personally, I can't think of anything.
GM, what are some of the current problems that the people of whatever the city's called?
White Sea.
White Sea, thank you. I put White Place thing because I wasn't sure. What are some of the main challenges these people are facing externally and internally right now?
They're facing a large influx of immigrants from the surrounding towns, and there's a lot of tension because it's growing too fast, and there's not enough resources to go around right now.
They also have too much money. I could probably help out with that one.
Sure you could.
They also...
I mean, if anyone was going to help with that, it would be me.
Yeah, they also... there is some... So remind me, Caspian, are you being... How military dictator are you being here?
I mean...
How much does the Marasi have a
Caspian's whole thing is that he gets things to happen his way without reflecting negatively on himself. So he's very... at least that's my intention, right? His intention is for him to be very manipulative. So... I would say very little, like only in the sense that they're like a police force, and that when somebody who is causing a problem does something that legally justifies action, it doesn't always stop with them, right? Like sometimes also the people who are causing issues that know them get taken down, but they're obviously, it's framed that they are also involved in such a way that it doesn't look like he's just being a Nazi about it, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's the idea, right? He twists things to make it look good for himself while, trying to twist it. So, but he knows it's stupid to make himself look like that, right? To put tension between himself and the people. So he doesn't do that whenever it's possible. Like, that's the reason I just go in and murder all the assassin people, because he knows that's stupid, right? So he takes things as slowly as he needs to, and then when he gets an opportunity, he takes it and he tries to twist it to look like it was, he was pushed to do it, had no choice, that kind of thing.
So, I mean, that's the main problem, Alrik.
I'm the problem, really.
Caspian
is the other problems, right? Like, it's basically just that, I mean, there are lots of people in the town who probably very much dislike him, not necessarily because he's, like, horrible or anything, but because he's new, and they were very comfortable with the way their lives were before, and now there's this guy who's changing everything, and
a problem is kind of might be misleading because it has improved the town since I joined. Like, right, they're much better defended. They have much better trade.
Oh yeah, sure.
But the defense is not local.
Well,
the defense is imported mercs, so less trustworthy than a homegrown force of a similar size.
And I think there have to have been some problems with the Marasi.
I'm sure, yeah.
Right, like
100%.
Right, like even though as a policing force, I'm sure they've made mistakes. And also probably as soldiers have caused problems and whatever. So that's probably part of it. It's just this invading force that nobody really likes, but everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, like when the Crow Inquisitors showed up, if the Marasi hadn't been here, they could have been raided for all they know. Like, they have a negative so, like, I feel like there's been enough instances where, like, yeah, the Rossi might be kind of rowdy, but they're also, like, triple the size of our previous force and better trained.
Right, I think the main thing is that, like, the incredible influx of immigrants, it's causing lots of tension and stuff. The newness of everything, right? The newness of all of these changes. There's a lot of people who just don't like it because of, this, that, or the other thing. I think a lot of the elite of the town recognize Caspian for what he is, and don't like him because of that. Like, for sure, the matriarch of the temple and all the priests, she hates him. And that's
interesting.
A couple of other,
I mean, the nobles have probably made the most money out of anybody, so. Because they're the ones actually directly benefiting from the trade. Not
necessarily, because all of them were, like, sycophants or minor nobility based off of the previous lord. Right? And they were, like, their entire, like, system of government was just shut down.
Yeah, all right. Well, I didn't realize what you meant. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so there are probably some minor nobility that are still around in the town because they couldn't leave that don't like Caspian. So there's some troubles in that area too.
At this point, though, they're probably pretty useless compared to, like, primary merchants and that kind of stuff that actually make a lot of money now.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
They've definitely made a middle class rise in this area for sure. Yeah, that's the gist of it.
Okay, sorry, I'm actually taking notes this time.
That's all good.
Oh, really? That'd be a good idea
too, honestly.
I don't know. I'm having fun with ideas. We'll see if any of them pan out.
Yeah.
So in terms of the original problem being presented to me now is how do we get the Crow Inquisitors to appear more favorable in the eyes of the people?
Yeah. How do we repair their reputation? Not only in the eyes of our people, who now have probably gotten semi-used to them being there because they haven't attacked us or anything. Well, actually, it's only been a few days, so probably not. But also, more importantly, the eyes of other towns, because they're the ones who I don't want to be politically, I don't want my political image damaged by associating with them, with these other towns. But I'm asking you because your character is much more in touch with the people of towns in general, and if the people really like.
Are you calling me a Yoko?
No, I'm calling you much better connected to the people who actually matter in the town via making money. So that's kind of my thing. Like one of the things that Caspian values in Alrik is that Alrik is much better at talking to the laborers and people who actually make the thing work than he is. He can't do I don't even have the oratory skill. Like, I can't talk to people in groups at all, like that kind of stuff. And I don't have anything in common with them. So, and that's why he's asking you, because, if you can convince a body of people that something, then their leader either has to agree or deal with their entire body of people disagreeing with them consistently. So I think it's more important to convince the people that the Crow Inquisitors are cool. And that's why I'm asking you what you would suggest.
Probably the first. Nothing really military, because that's like the last thing you want to do is to have another military force show up and go, "Hey, look what we can do! We can burn towns and plunder things.
Look what I can do!"
Yeah,
yeah. You don't want that.
Yeah. I mean, has there been anything going on in the area, Caleb, that they could help with, like, humanitarian-wise?
Construction. Can the Crow do the Crow Inquisitors have...
Antonius would be all over that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the question for Cantarius is...
The big thing is the immigrant problem, right? Like, they don't have enough space for these people. Like, if they constructed a new part of the town, right? Yeah.
Can your people build walls?
Antonius could probably make it happen somehow.
I think you're saying that in character, right?
Right, yeah. Can your people build walls?
Cantarius.
Oh, I did not know you were talking to me.
Sorry.
I think our people can build walls. I don't see why not.
If someone was
directing it, it'd be that hard. Sure. Yeah.
It's probably fine. We'll just put this nail here and that nail here. Yeah, it'll be
all good. Sorry.
We're low on space. And if you're staying here longer than short term, that's only going to become a bigger issue.
Right.
Expanding the walls to allow for new development or to allow,
expansion.
Expansion into other areas is probably one of the better things you can do to improve your image.
I think that's a splendid idea.
Growth is always good.
Mm-hmm. In fact, as I've been led to believe, the neighboring towns seem to be struggling with a similar issue. I imagine you could repair some of your image with them if you could convince them to allow you to do the same there.
Would you want...
What?
The question is, would
Caspian want that?
Would Caspian suggest that a new possible group of labor force be sent out to strengthen neighboring / rivaling places? Or is he suggesting like White Sea's sphere of influence, or is he suggesting White Sea and the neighboring baronies and...
Right. Well, I'm suggesting like the towns in my area, so the people that impact me directly, right? Preferably the ones I like and that like me, but but really the thing is, if this goes badly for them, it's really no skin off his back, right? And if it goes well, then he is in a position where he can take credit for this idea, right? And get a positive spin on it from his friends, the political friends, but also he's in a position where being friends with the Crow Inquisitors isn't going to be a suicide politically. And so basically I think it's kind of a win-win. Now, if they successfully bolster other people's defenses that don't like me, like Eero, like I would be like, look, you probably shouldn't do this with Eero. If you do that, I'm not going to be happy about this. Mm-hmm. Because, the idea is theoretically to be able to befriend me. At least that's the one he's presenting. There is a chance that he might end up just deciding to like side with them. In which case, that could backfire. But I think that's something he'd rather deal with at the moment than...
Okay. Because it feels to me like we're being offered a resource,
mm-hmm.
and to immediately then go and say, hey, neighbor, that, we're friends, but
mm-hmm.
I've got this new toy that can build walls. How about you play for it? It seems a little
mm-hmm.
off to me to offer it directly.
Yeah.
Like,
it would definitely be after they did it for us, right? Like that would be the idea.
Yeah. I think for now, step one is just show. I think importantly, we need to show they're not all beggars, right? They're not here to leech off of our economic prosperity, and you're not making friends with a big group of ragamuffins.
Mm.
We're just going to leech off the area, right? That's kind of the first thing. They're being productive and helpful. The second
mm-hmm.
thing, they're not aggressive. This is not aggressive.
Right.
This is expansion. This is growth, but this is not... It could be a bit of posturing. My town's got a larger wall than yours, measuring contests. Well, so measuring contests there, but that's kind of a given in this situation. I think, in general, just keeping in White Sea's influence area for now is probably the right answer. I don't know that we want to just go ahead and hand off to the other. And I don't think the people here would necessarily like that idea. I think they want to see I think the people want a reason to trust the Crow Inquisitors,
right?
Because
they're right
they
there.
don't want, because they're right there, and the other option is a heck of a lot worse.
Yeah,
right.
So,
and I think you're right, because I think that even if they're only helping us, right? I think that will still improve their relationship with or their opinion in the eyes of other people, because, like you said, it's a show of faith. Maybe not towards them, but just in general. So I do think that makes more sense. And I think that probably happens in character, right? Like I suggest, like, hey, maybe they could even bolster, because I'm thinking just like on the top level. Like, I'm like, this noble would probably like that a lot, right? And I think maybe you mentioned like, I don't know if our people would care for that too much, and it seems foolish to just dispose of this resource. And I think Caspian agrees with you. And obviously we just shorthandle that because we just talked about it. But he's like, I think that's, that's why I pay you the big bucks, basically. Right? Like, And so yeah, I think he smiles and nods while you're talking, being like, "Yeah, I like seeing this side of you where you're, discussing the politics." And he says, "So there you have it. Seems Alrik has a rather effective plan in mind. What do you think, Cantarius?"
I think that would be a fair use of our time.
I mean, yeah,
because give my people something to do.
Yeah, right now they're literally
something
just
to unite them,
lounging around, like not doing anything.
Yeah.
So.
I hear their Stormfather whisper, "Unite them!" in the distance.
I see what you did there.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, so I think he smiled and says, "Was there anything else you..." And of course he's been eating the whole time. So he probably like finishes chewing something and says, "Was there anything else you had in mind?"
Do you like the goat?
Caleb, do I like the goat? Is it good?
I mean, who cooked it, Connor?
I did.
Okay, make a cooking test.
Do you have a cooking skill?
Wait, no, I don't have a cooking skill.
You just have one of your people.
No, I forgot that if I said that, you would actually make me roll for it.
Yeah.
No.
You've got all the cooks to help you, and you roll 300 dice.
Okay, so make a circles test, Cantarius, to see
a circle. What?
It's fine.
I was gonna say, how pedantic are we gonna get?
That's pretty harsh, man.
No, you just brought it to one of the camp cooks. I'm sure that's fine.
Right. Okay.
So, was it good?
So you like the goat?
Yeah, it was fine.
Of curiosity,
obviously not as good as your cook.
Yeah. Right.
What's standard fare in
White Sea?
No.
Oh, where you're from?
Fjallreich.
Fjallreich, there's the word. Yeah, what's standard fare in Fjallreich? Aside from beer.
Goats.
In terms of drink or food or both?
General diet. Like, is goats a thing?
Yeah.
Fjallreich?
Goats are definitely a thing in Fjallreich, yeah.
Okay.
Probably bigger
this
goats
even takes
than
it back
this.
a little bit.
Yeah, probably definitely bigger goats than this. Like huge old
mountain
goats.
like
yeah, exactly.
Mountain goats
those
that arrest the
wild mountain goats. Yeah.
Wild mountain goats, and it's a sport for the
that and boars. Yeah.
What's their name? Urugard. Urugard. Nice. The Urugard who live more in the mountains go on hunts where they hunt these things with their bare hands.
Jeez. Nice. Yep. Well, and it's probably a lot more.
Urugard are known for being smart.
Yep.
That's fun.
Just tough.
Yeah.
It's the name comes from the sound that they make when they're trying to think.
Wow. Ouch.
No, that was very racist. I'm sorry, Alrik.
Boy.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. How dare you be so racist to this fictional race?
Yep.
That's funny.
Ulrich suddenly glares through the fourth wall intensely.
Glares at the camera.
That's creepy.
Yep.
Is your name Monica?
Is this the wrap up of the scene then?
Yeah. So I think he says, not my usual fare, but it was it's very good.
Adequate.
Yeah, I don't know. He's intending to insult him.
Yeah.
And actually, so I think I say one other thing. So tell me, have you heard word from Iris? I'm curious to know what his disposition is towards you. I noticed you had a rather tenuous relationship last time I saw you speak. For which I apologize.
He simply disagrees with me on what is best for our people.
Has he contacted you though?
I would be lying. I would be lying if I say that it is more than just that. It is. Boy, this is hard for him. This is very hard for Cantarius. No, he just says it's more than just that. It is a contest of leadership.
He nods. Says, I understand, of course. Says, I do have one last question, if you'd feel humor me. What is the region? What is this region called? The region the White Sea's in?
Like the larger...
yeah, like the duchy, basically.
So whatever the next hierarchical step up from White Sea is an area?
Yeah, basically, like, yeah.
Is this,
Caleb,
is this a question for me?
yeah.
Sorry,
what's the name of this? You're fine. This region, like the duchy, basically that we're in. What's the name of it?
Oh, the duchy.
Or just this region, right? I don't know if it's specifically a duchy because I know it's kind of outside of.
So, are you talking about like just the region that
Serrano.
you're in charge of, or the like the desert savanna area?
I mean, like the area that the Crow Inquisitors have been wandering around.
Yeah.
So the region, right?
Nasrin.
Nasrin. Okay. Yeah. So he says, Nasrin, tell me, I'm curious, what is it that brought the Crow Inquisitors here? Out of Serrano, I mean. I know that there was just a massive, like, citywide riot war that happened recently. I mean, I assume I have at least one blood wife there, right? That would have relayed that information to me.
That's probably a test.
Yeah,
you can make some sort of wise.
I don't think I have
be...
anything like that. Can they make a wise test?
What?
Like a spy wise?
Not without prior... Hey, go find this out for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, their concept is basically that I've had them strewn around the area, like the region at large. But
I'm sure you know the generalities. Like, there's a new pope. There was a rebellion.
I mean, I feel like we would hear about that. That's a huge.
Yeah, it was pretty huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the very basics.
Okay. Yeah, so he says
whether or not these guys are related to it. Hard to say.
Well, no, yeah, I don't imagine that I know anything specific, right? I just wanted to know
perception.
If I happened.
Can Alrik, having heard this kind of news, can he put two and two together to come up with the idea that Crow Inquisitors were heavily involved in that chaos?
Sure, yeah.
That would be a perception test, right?
That would be a perception test, yeah. Let's make it ob 3.
Okay. That was actually a pretty good roll. You almost had it.
Negatory.
Too bad it's a 6, darn.
So you mark the test though. Yeah. So you Alrik is not quite bright enough to put that together. You can make a test though, Caspian, if you want to. Same test.
A perception test.
Obstacle 3. Actually, I'm sorry to inform you, Josh. Failed perception tests actually do not count towards advancement.
Rubbish.
Yep, that's a thing.
Do I get a helping dice from the Bloodwives?
No.
I do have them as a reputation or whatever, or affiliation.
Okay, sure. One advantage dice, yeah, for the situation. That makes sense.
Okay. 3 obstacle. Hey.
Yeah, so Alrik does not put it together, but Caspian does.
Okay. What was I putting together? Sorry.
Yeah, so you think about the the situation in Serrano, and you realize that these people must have been like people who basically went on an exodus after the religious rebellion happening.
So basically, I know that they were very aggressive in that scenario, basically situation, right?
No, I mean I think the thing you put together, right, is that they must be the rebels, right? Like they left because their religion lost that war, that whatever it was that happened there, and like that's the most obvious logical conclusion about all of this, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So he says, Nasrin, tell me, what was it that brought you out here from Serrano? I mean,
talking to me?
Yeah.
You said Nasrin.
Yeah. Nasrin, what brought you out here?
This region that they're in right now. The desert savanna area.
Oh, I thought that was like the name of somebody.
No, sorry, I was just using weird sentence structure.
Right, okay, no, that makes sense.
I think he says, I'd like to be clear about your intent in the area, of course, especially if we were going to be friends, as you put it. I'd like there to be no misconceptions between us.
And now we see just how far he's willing to go.
You or me?
I think Cantarius is what he's talking about.
Cantarius.
Yeah.
I'm very curious as to what your angle is on this, Connie.
Do I have to have an angle, Caleb?
No, I'm just.
Can I just be a friend?
No, probably not.
I mean, since you came here to kill me, I'm gonna go with no. I'm not.
Oh, come on, no.
You didn't come here to necessarily.
Let's not be coy.
I mean, that was literally the exact words that were said. Multiple times.
It was like justice for the people of White Sea.
Yes, justice dispensed via murdering me. It was
that was
like,
one of the options.
The Crow Inquisitors. The Crow Inquisitors have a distinct and well-known flavor of justice.
Yep.
Death. Yeah.
Now that might technically be my fault as a player, but that's not my fault as a character. So, you know what? I don't care.
Dylan did set the tenor for this.
Yep. Thanks.
Hashtag
Dylan.
blame Dylan.
Yep. We all do. Yep.
Either I mean, let's be honest. That was always the case.
No, it was either Dylan or Alphonse. One of those twins.
That's fair. That's fair. It's just our family, really. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you gonna go with this, Cantarius?
I have no clue at this point. I'm trying to.
When I say this, or
I mean, probably.
Okay, I'm just curious. I think I give Alrik a look at during that pause, like, not sure how I feel about this pause.
Yeah, Gwen looks at you too, Caspian.
Yeah,
raises an eyebrow.
And with that, he realizes that he's already lost the ability to lie.
I mean, not necessarily. You could literally make a falsehood test.
No, I'm not talking about it in that regard.
I mean,
I'm saying
what lying would be.
In his mind. Okay, I mean, no. In all reality, he has. There's no way that Cantarius could pull off a lie, and he knows that.
Yeah, not as much as he doesn't want to tell them anymore. It's just that he doesn't think he can get away with it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Caleb?
Yeah, what's up?
What does it take to add a custom wise?
Add a custom wise?
You just add a skill. Click add on your skill thing.
Okay, so it's literally just I can say I want to have Ferrari wise and then start making tests against that.
Yeah, if you put it in your being learned, yep, that's what you would do.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it would.
Okay, so there's no special mechanic for generating a wise. Nope. That's useful.
Just another skill.
That's what you do during character creation, but yeah, once you're playing, you have to do the vintage luck. What were you going to say, Connor?
And I mean that in the sense of he was unsure whether or not what he was going to say. But because he wants to tell the truth, but can he really say that? And then it's a thing of, well,
kill me, then probably not.
Well, exactly. And then it was a thing of, well, I think it's too late already at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
tell me, what was the lie you were going to sell?
I'm not saying anything.
Caleb?
Yeah.
Wises are based off
perception?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And is the number in the bubble the amount of tests required to get it opened?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Holy, okay. Can I roll an influence-wise to understand what that look specifically meant? See if I can determine from that, based on. I guess actually influence-wise doesn't sort of make sense here.
Tell me what you're trying to do exactly.
I'm trying to determine if I can gather the connection between Crow Inquisitors and
for me, you mean?
The Serrano Uprising, based on his now significant look. Context had changed on me again. Now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that I think about it, context had changed on me.
Yeah.
The look was more of, well, these guys weren't necessarily here for good purposes.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, it was
these
more
guys
like a
came from
nervous
shady.
plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Okay. Sorry, I misread that.
That's right.
No, you're fine. But I mean, yeah, if you ask Caspian about that at any point, he'd share that information. So, but right now I'm curious to see what Connor has to say. that might influence that.
Mm-hmm. We were called here because, well, there seemed to be a.
You were called.
Well, no, that's the wrong choice of words.
Sent.
We weren't sent. We had heard about the the destruction of the wells nearby.
Oh,
and we came here to help.
That was way long. You were here before that happened. You've been here 2 years, Connor.
He's asking what.
Sorry, what now?
He's asking what brought you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He's asking what brought you out into the wilderness, not what brought you to White Sea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
What you brought you here originally from Serragon.
Wow, I just spent a lot of wasted time on that question.
Well, to be fair, it'll probably be followed up with White Sea specifically, so don't worry. I don't think you'll have wasted that time.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably depends on your answer here, but yeah. I didn't mean the region. Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
We wanted to help people.
By murdering them.
Says, did Serragon send you for that? Or send you to do that? You're a vestige of Serragon, correct? The Inquisitors?
Sorry?
I'm asking if Serragon sent you to do that. I mean, I know it didn't, but I'm asking you if... In fact, I mean, if you want to make an observation, maybe you can tell that I'm, trying to grift you, basically. But I'm basically being like, did Serragon send you, knowing that the answer is no? I'm curious to see how forthcoming you are with the fact that you're basically outcasts from Serragon.
No, we left their, I want to say order. We left their authority about 2 years ago.
Since I heard there was a rather large conflict in Serragon, I suppose that didn't have anything to do with it.
A little. It's a very odd question.
Says, of course, I'm interested to know what sort of role your group played in that conflict. Past actions speak far more, or rather, they carry much greater weight than words, of course. You'll forgive me if I'm cautious with my trust.
You are forgiven. As if to confirm the fact that you are. But
yeah. Oh, he knows he is.
Right. Well, he visibly is like fighting with himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we were the people that brought down the church.
Caleb, that doesn't sound quite like what you told me, I think, right?
Yeah,
you said I think that they lost the fight and left?
Yeah, basically. That's the most logical conclusion from all of this, because they do have a weird religious thing happening in their camp. So
right, yeah.
Right, it doesn't make sense that if they had won against the religion, then they would leave, exile themselves out to the desert, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he cocks his eyebrow and he says, if you brought down the church, why aren't you running the church, as it were, I suppose? Why aren't they out here wandering the wilderness? That's what I mean.
Because we didn't take over the church. Foreign party did. In fact, it was one of the Crow Inquisitors.
Wait, what? No. So the Crow Inquisitors didn't take over the church because the Crow Inquisitors took over the church? I'm really confused. See, I think he says,
a lone party from the Crow Inquisitors left our order, pursued his own agenda.
And
that's
for your
Sergio,
efforts,
guys.
you... What?
That's Sergio, guys.
Oh, yeah. He says, and for your efforts, you were... I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember what you just told me. Didn't send you, you left.
Right, you're saying that the lone party controlled the church? Not the
is
Crow.
now controlling the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I say, and for your efforts, they cast you out then?
Well, that's actually a bit of a tricky question.
Isn't this
well, yes.
Says God, so you answered me for some reason.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Alrik looks
he's speaking to you with his mind.
confused and suspicious.
No, yeah, I mean, as he should be. So sorry, you just say it's complicated, basically?
Pretty much.
Yeah, he nods. And I think he's a little bit more willing to accept that because, as far as he knows, the Serrano church is a pain in the butt, so... he doesn't think it's far-fetched at all that you guys did all the work and then the church was just like, see ya, have fun in the desert.
That's kind of what happened, really.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he believes that, essentially convincing himself of it. But says, he nods like, it seems like you were relatively forthcoming. And says, so then, one last question. You came to Nasrin to help people. Why did you come to White Sea specifically?
Great.
I mean, there's a good lie here if you come up with it, but
you'll have to roll to lie.
Yeah.
We came here because the wells had been destroyed.
The oases, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The water supply.
The aqueduct!
So yes, Zero did a number on those, as I recall.
It would be a very, very, very long aqueduct. A large portion of the country.
You underestimate my power.
Don't tempt me.
Let me check. I believe it's like, what is it, 6? Is your power? Yep, this power is 6. I think I know exactly what your power was, so.
Yeah, he says,
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for your pesky web browser.
Okay, what the heck just happened?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
There were lots of references and then some jokes.
Are you not entertained?
Let's just see how long we can keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just, this is smart. Anyways,
I can do this all day.
Potato calculator.
Anyways, yeah. So I think he says, yeah, Zero did a number on those, though I can't say we haven't all had an influx of business from it. And he wants to see your reaction to that when he says that it was Eero's fault. And
he just kind of raises his eyebrow like, forthcoming indeed. He doesn't say that, but...
How much knowledge does Alrik have, / the Outriders, of what happened at the Oases?
That is a good question.
Yeah, that is
so
a good question.
The guy we killed, who was your superior, knew about it because in my little beginning session before this, I discussed it with him. He was the one I'd originally put in charge of it. So I assume
it's kind of common knowledge among the soldiers.
Yeah,
probably.
the Outriders had a part in it at least.
Yeah.
Maybe not you specifically. And the Marassi were probably heavily involved. Well, no, the Marassi weren't involved at all. In fact, it was.
So that's up to you, Alrik.
Yeah, it was up to you. I did send you out all in. Whoever I sent out, they were dressed in Eero's colors, though. Yeah. Basically, my idea was we're gonna go burn down these things, get more money, and blame
question
Eero.
About Alrik. Was Alrik involved in this? Because basically, what that means is you went and slaughtered some people, burned down their town.
Well, to be fair, I also told you not to murder anybody,
right?
Which didn't actually happen. But I did say that.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, I didn't say to be.
I am building Alrik.
Sorry, good.
Always seek the interests of the people of White Sea. Is one of Alrik's instincts.
That would be seeking the interest of the people of White Sea.
Just created. So the point is to draw business into the city.
Yep.
One of the reasons that we're doing so much better now is because everyone has to come to us.
Yep.
So we've reduced the supply in order to increase the demand.
Yep. Exactly.
And this is... All is fair in intrigue and war. Violence is never off the table. I think Alrik would be okay with burning down the oases so long as it was convincing enough, so long as Caspian's or his commander's arguments for how this would affect the city were convincing enough.
Right.
So I'm going to go with Alrik knows this. He knows what's up. Maybe was involved. Probably was involved, at least in terms of some of the logistics of it. If not actually there, he was probably there to reprimand whoever actually killed people.
Right, yeah.
Because, like, I'm not sure Alrik isn't, like, going to want to go out recklessly murdering people. I think that's not in the interests of White Sea.
Yeah.
To make it look...
And it wasn't in Caspian's interest either, so...
It was convenient, right?
Yeah.
Now people think Ero's worse because...
Yeah, except that apparently it got out that I did it, so that's...
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, I think he knows what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I say Eero intentionally because I want to try and read your reaction. Because basically I'm shifting blame for something I did that you know I did. But of course I don't know that you know that. And I'm trying to pick that up, right? Like I'm trying to see your reaction to me blaming somebody else for the burning of the...
Right, I'm just like, huh? Oh, okay then.
Okay, so you don't have any reaction to me...
Simply raised eyebrow. Simply, huh.
Now, can I make a perception test to derive information from that? Or
I mean, so this is the thing about Burning Wheel. Like, it doesn't have a skill that allows you to, like, understand people's emotional states, except for aura reading, which is a magical skill. And that's part of the game. Like, it's kind of meant to be that way. So, Cantarius, you can tell Caspian, like, what does he see?
I mean, wouldn't that just be a perception roll then?
I guess, if we want to do that.
Or maybe even a will roll, since it's a
I think it would be perception.
Well, because all the social skills are based on will, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think I wrote up some skills.
Didn't you say assess was...
So assess is not that. No, assess is looking for, like, hidden, or not hidden things, but, like,
right.
like advantages. Yeah, it's basically like rate a situation, kind of. This is rate a person, and let's see. I know I wrote down some, like, potential, like, other skills for Burning Wheel.
Right.
Let me find that.
Yeah. I mean, if there was an empathy skill, I probably would have taken it.
Yeah. There is indeed an empathy skill. It works. What I did was just make it like the aura rating trait, except it's not magical. Or yeah, aura rating skill. So it's like it's based on will /
an R-rated skill. What the heck is going on here?
I mean, there are some of those, I'm sure.
Yeah,
this is an apocalypse world. Jesus,
that's fair.
It's based on will / perception. I believe in that case, then you just roll one or the other. Like it doesn't matter. For the being.
You wouldn't average them.
Yeah, I don't think you would average them because you're. That's never how it works. You're always.
Well, it's how it works for finding the root of a skill.
Right, but it never works for how we're being learned because you're actually rolling this dice for the stat every time. Right, it wouldn't make any sense.
Well, no, because like if you're
no, because you couldn't earn tests on both or like. Half and half, right?
Well, like, how would you do axes then? Or not axes.
You just choose one.
There's a weapon that's power and agility.
Yep, you just choose one or the other. Whenever you rolled.
Strange. Alright.
Well, that's a good way. Can you do
I mean, there's
roots on here? On being learned?
I mean, you could just average them and then roll that. So
yeah, you can do that. Basically, I guess the test then would just be on whatever you decide. If you got a difficult or challenging.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want me to put that in being learned then and try? Yeah. Okay. Oops, I almost deleted ritual.
If everybody's okay with like that being a skill and stuff, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it makes sense for them not to be one.
Okay. Yeah. So what are you trying to do exactly?
Basically, I'm trying to gauge his reaction to me indicating that someone else did this thing.
Yeah, ob 2.
3, 4, 5. Okay. And fill one of those in. Let's see. Okay. No, I can't fork things into this. But okay. Where's obstacle 2? Hey, look, I failed, guys. And I didn't get a 6. It was close though.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah. So it's very hard to read him. Yeah. You don't know.
Now, you don't get tests for your stat when you roll this, do you?
So if it's a routine.
Right.
With the dice that it's based off of, so that means you're gonna just mark one of those bubbles. If it was a difficult or challenging, then you would mark either will or perception.
Oh, because they can't get routines. Okay,
yep.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and if it wasn't routine, would you not mark a bubble?
No. You only mark a bubble when it's routine. Yep.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay. All right. So we did all that to know that I don't know anything.
Yep. But we know there's no.
All right. Yeah. So
we didn't know.
Yeah, that's true. So why did I? Oh yeah. So basically, yeah, I say Eero did a number on those. And I said, no, I can't say that we haven't. You know, it hasn't helped us basically. And I think he says, I'm curious though why you decided to stay. I don't believe I. Now, okay, well, maybe I should make sure this is true before I say it. I haven't heard word of them, like, putting up camp next to other towns for long periods of time, right? Like, that's not a normal thing that they do, is it?
I'm assuming it's not, right, Cantarius?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, that shouldn't make you suspicious.
No, but he's curious why this time you chose to just sit at his town instead of go somewhere else, right?
Right.
So that's basically what he says. Like, I'm curious why you decided to stay, opposed to, traveling to the next town as you did previously.
Seeing as to how, after all these oases broke down, of how forthcoming you were to accept new, what's it called? Immigrants.
Immigrants, yeah.
Well, I thought this is where I could find a friend.
No, that's not true, is it?
Nope.
You want to make a falsehood roll?
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a falsehood roll there. Cantarius.
6 will. Good luck.
Yeah, this is the thing, is I don't want him to want to lie.
What?
You don't want Cantarius
you could totally Cantarius this and be just like, we thought you were evil and we were here to kill you, but now I'm meeting you.
Yeah, you could
You're
just
actually
tell him
nice.
the truth.
You could just totally dump and see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I might as well.
That seems like a much more Cantarius thing to do.
That's a very Cantarius thing to do.
It does. No, I mean, he may be intentionally trying to avoid that. He is being kind of anti-Cantarius right now at the moment. But, I mean,
yeah, because this situation.
I mean, normal Cantarius really never done any of this, so it's up to you whether or not.
Alrik has a hammer.
Break out of that.
He still has a hammer on his belt.
Yeah. Plus, you're in my palace.
Do you have your hammer like leaned on the table because it's like a giant sledge? More
than like giant sledge.
It's a pretty big sledge. I don't think you could keep it on your
I mean, is it a warhammer or is it a sledgehammer? Because sledgehammers are significantly bigger than warhammers.
I seem to remember
it's a maul.
Yeah, it's a maul.
So no, it's not like the giant like Reinhardt hammer.
Well, I mean, no
fantasy
one
weapon, right?
Well, everything else is Reinhardt, so.
But yeah, he's nobody.
It's not medieval.
He is nobody right now in the meta. Rip. Yeah. Anyway, the head's smaller than my mug.
Yeah, okay.
And the handle's
just like a really long. Well, yeah, it's like a maul.
It's handheld. It's a maul. It's not a
like a real maul
sledgehammer, like for taking things out.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, when I said warhammer, I meant like the one-handed hammers that they use in war in real life. Like, and then a maul is a two-handed hammer with a thick head. So I assume you have a maul, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's probably. I picture like Mjolnir, to be honest. That's honestly what I picture. Is
so basically a small maul, like basically a warhammer, but with a really thick head.
Yeah, maybe with a longer handle a little bit, but not too much.
Too, right? Yeah, longer handle.
Something more like Thor's hammer. So probably sitting on the floor next to me, or
gotcha.
Cool.
Something not on the table. I'm not that much of a barbarian, even if that is my trope.
Yeah, because you're a Yurgard.
In my youth, in my foolish, misguided youth, I would have put my axe in the table. But
basically, you're the Blackthorn, so yeah.
You are kind of like the Blackthorn, actually. Yeah.
That's kind of the concept, isn't it? Like maybe.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
Not direct.
That.
Like that's the concept. I can't remember. Perrin Ibarra from Wheel of Time is my concept, roughly speaking.
Read that, so.
Started out really
honestly,
vicious, bloodthirsty warrior with an axe. Then he decided that the axe was making him too terrible, and too much. He also had a ability where he could communicate with wolves, so he was a little. So he could, and he had a little bit like wolfish abilities, and so the further he went down the path of I have an axe, I'm going to smash things, be a warrior type of deal, the further he felt like he was losing grasp on being human and starting to slip into being more wolf.
That's pretty cool.
Because he was a wolf in his dream state. He could run with the wolves around him. He could roughly communicate with them even when he was awake. And people with his ability had gone all the way to like rabid human monster
and werewolf
/ all the way to normal human being with kind of weird yellow eyes and can smell things better. And so he tried to find the balance, tried to give up war altogether, and responsibility thrust itself on him. So he picked up the hammer. I can build and destroy.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
Antonius is also loosely based off the same character. Hammer, blacksmith.
I get the feeling you like that character.
I loved that character.
Yeah.
Favorite in the series.
Nice.
But
cool.
So kind of the similar concept to similar development to Blackthorn.
Nice.
But I think honestly Blackthorn's closer to Alrik than Perrin.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Cool. Oh yeah, so Connor, did you decide between the lie and the...
You want to lie or ugly truth it?
No, ugly truth it.
Okay. I mean, that's a skill too. So if you want to have a specific... You can just say it, but if you want to have a specific effect, you can just do ugly truth.
Though, keep in mind the odd for that will be 12, so...
No, it won't.
Right.
No, remember, ugly truth is based on the complexity of the truth, not the...
Oh, that's right. All right, never mind. Forgot about that.
And you only have one more test to open an ugly truth, Connor.
Okay, well, I might as well.
Yeah, sure. So how complex do we think this truth is? So the truth is, you're evil, and...
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the truth is complicated, though I think depending on his outcome. If his outcome is like, I want a 1 difficulty ob to be like, oh yeah, no, it's cool. Like, I'm trying to figure out how the intents work with this skill.
Okay, so what is your intent here, Cantarius? If you tell him the truth about the situation, that you came here to kill him but realized that wasn't going to work, and then you wanted to treat with him instead, what is your intent by saying that? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want Caspian
to lower his guard?
Oh.
That I want him to feel like I'm his friend.
Okay. Is that a genuine intent or a misleading intent? Okay, just want to make sure.
No, that is a genuine intent.
Okay. I think... Oof.
See, I feel like that would...
The problem is, I feel like at this point it's probably like an ugly truth about a complex political situation, because that's kind of what this is. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Well,
no, I mean, I feel like...
It makes no sense at all. It's very simple, actually.
I mean, I feel like...
Who said that?
It depends. Like, as a thing, it's very direct, but obviously its implications are a big deal. But I don't know.
Let's say...
I feel like... I don't know.
Let's say up 3. Let's lower just a little bit. Let's do up 3. Which will still double the 6.
I feel like just telling him that would just make him more defensive, though. I feel like it maybe have to be a persuasive thing for him to not actually, like... I don't know. That seems...
That's the thing, right? He's doing Cantarius. He's being open and honest with you in the hopes that you will respond in kind.
Yeah, but I don't know that... Yeah, all right, that's okay.
Right, and that's the thing. The success on this roll is that he does it in such a way that actually endears him to Caspian. Otherwise, it does what you probably assume that it will do.
Right. Yeah, no.
And it's very unlikely
like that would be really hard. I feel like someone doing that to Caspian would make him...
I mean, right now he's rolling 6 dice against 6 op, so it's pretty unlikely.
Right. Well, yeah, and I mean, it's fine, but that's why this skill seems like a strange. Not like it's the wrong skill. It just feels like a weird way for this skill to work. But that's fine.
It seems that's the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it does seem like a weird way for this to work.
That's Cantarius. Go ahead.
I mean, what I mean is, it feels like it's weird that there's no implication on the person involved. Is what it seems strange to me. It's all about the like. It feels like that would have to be a link test for something else, right?
So there is a thing to be said about like whether or not you believe this to be the truth, because it only works if you believe it to be true, if the truth being spoken and being ripped down to its bare naked core. If this makes
Cantarius?
To you, Caspian. If it makes sense to you, then it can be done. Otherwise, it can't.
Right. I mean, he believed that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right.
I'm just my point is like him saying that is fine, but I don't know that would change my demeanor. I feel like that's a persuasive thing, but it doesn't matter. I'll play it out either way. It's fine. Just roll it.
Right. That's the thing. He's not necessarily convincing you of anything, but to be endeared towards him, right? Like to feel camaraderie.
But that's pretty much a 90-degree turn from where I'm at. So right now I'm like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. I want to decide whether or not this is okay, and that's why I feel like it's a persuasive thing. It's changing my mind about him as opposed to just being like, this is the case, which feels strange. But that, like I said, it doesn't matter. If he gets the roll, I'll just play it like it did.
Yeah, let's do that. It's still a very hard roll. I feel like there's a chance that this could work because of the way Cantarius works. But yeah, it will be difficult. So, yeah, you can go ahead and roll that in Ugly Truth in Be Learned counter, and then against odd 3, which will double to the 6.
Well, here we go.
You can add Artha too if you want to.
Skill. Yeah, I'm spending 3 Artha.
Wow.
For sure.
That might be a... Look, I mean,
he's spending it on perception, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true. You do get to put it in your...
He already has several in perception, actually.
Yeah. No. I forgot it's not really a waste to
3 sixes.
Oh, hey. That was a pretty good roll. Well, actually,
I'll add those Artha into your perception, Connor.
Oh, man! There you go. You got it.
You got it already. Yeah.
Sixes. You actually got 7 just from that.
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll this again and see.
Oh my goodness! You got another 6.
There's a thing for that. It's called an exclamation point.
If you put an exclamation point beyond or at the end of your roll, it will automatically open end the 6s. So
forgot about that.
Just for reference.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
my goodness!
Yeah, so you got
gracious. Did you put the persona and the fate in there? In perception.
No, I'll put the fate in there. Go ahead and remove them from your pool, though. I haven't done that yet.
I genuinely like.
Okay, so how does that play? I mean, say the thing then.
Can't breathe, man.
Say the thing.
Yeah.
Well, permission to be frank. No, that's weird. It sounds like I'm talking to a general in an army when I'm a soldier.
Right. Well, what was just said, though, so you can...
Would you mind if I was terribly frank with you, Caspian? You asked me why I was out here at White Sea.
Right.
Can I be...
Okay, yeah. Can I be...
Right, yeah. Can I be terribly frank with you, Caspian?
I hope that you would, Cantarius.
And I nod to both Gwen and whatever Josh's character's name is.
Alrik.
Something with a V. That is not a V.
That's not a V.
Alrik, of course.
Alrik.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Alrik. That's what I've been hearing that the whole time. Anyway, no. So we kind of nod to the both of you. I came here because I had heard that you were the one who destroyed the oases. And I was hoping to bring justice to this land. Preferably with your head on a stick and your people free.
Mm-hmm.
I lied to you and I didn't roll a falsehood. Do you want me to do that?
I wasn't.
I told him Eero did it. I mean, I was testing him because I was trying to see if he knew, but that was a lie.
Go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
I have a feeling
the intent was to test, not to make him believe the lie. Is that a?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's kind of what I was going for. I don't really.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, whether or not you tell a good lie
no.
doesn't mean I actually believe you.
Well, the reason I thought that might be relevant was because you, I don't know if you really believe that I didn't do it or whatever, because you said you were told that. Okay, all right. Then I guess that's fine. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we'll just leave it like that.
Never mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't short.
Unless you wanted to do a storyline of maybe I think that you weren't in charge of it and that your people are also in dissension. If you want to kind of play that out and just see it and just roll and see what happens.
No, I don't. I think that's okay. Because I mean, it would have been a lie either way. Because he said Ira did it, right? Not his own people. So
right.
And Ira's not part of his group. So yeah, I think how it is okay as long as you don't feel like I should have rolled there.
Yeah, that's right.
So okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to know.
No, that's okay.
No, you're good. No, I pretty much say that would end with your head on a stick.
Yeah. And
your people free from your tyranny. Now that I'm here, I realize a much better use of my time would perhaps be to befriend this man. I lift my cup.
I look at Gwen.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for in her face?
I want to see how she reacts to being told that this person was going to try and kill me because.
Yeah, I mean, so she was going to take like a drink of like beer or whatever, wine probably actually, and
I'm the one with the beer here.
she was lifting her glass to like her face.
Nice.
And she just like white knuckles on this glass, and I think it like shatters. It like cracks. She just like looks at you, Cantarius. She doesn't do anything, but she's like looking.
I just kind of make that face that only Cantarius could. Of like a.
Yeah. Well, and I looked at her. She was most likely to just jump up and stab him. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't going to happen.
No, she's not going to do that. But she's tense.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah. So I pick up my glass of white wine or whatever it is, and I sort of gesture lightly towards yours. I say it's strange to have such a straightforward conversation. Well, I guess to end with such a straightforward conversation. So you might imagine these tend to be rather roundabout. Not that
and I don't think, right. I don't think you noticed, but I like stop my hand from shaking.
Oh,
I just ever so lightly.
And I think in kind of contrast to that, I put my hand on the table, my gold one, and it starts shaking. I have palsy. And I think he leans in and he says, I'm trying to think how he would react to this, though. I mean, like, you rolled super well, so he's totally on board, but I don't know what he'd say. And okay, what was your intent here again?
To befriend you. I'm pretty much just to gain your trust.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he says it's strange, having being so straightforward. And I think he leans forward and he says, he kind of looks into your eyes or whatever. He says, a lot of men have tried to kill me. And rarely do I see honesty in their eyes. And he's kind of, I think he's sort of getting like a little bit excited just from the fact that you told him that you were going to kill him. Like there's adrenaline now, right? Because it came out of totally left field, and that's why his hand is shaking. He stands up.
Okay, anybody else notice the pictures?
What?
I just did.
I've been busy.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow.
Why is there TNT under my house, Jared?
I assume this is being shown on stream.
Oh,
I can't find it.
It's all the way at the top.
I see it.
Yeah. Why is his name Mirfried? I thought his name was Mirfried.
Exactly.
Just kidding.
You know it.
Yeah, so he leans towards you and he says, he stands up and he says, and like puts his hands on the table, and yeah, his left one is still shaking a little bit. He says, yeah, I think he says, this is either going to be the most, I don't know if beneficial is the right word.
Why is there a giant?
What? There's a giant? Oh, I didn't see that.
That's like the only thing that doesn't make sense in this picture.
Oh my gosh.
There was no running theme when I started adding things.
Oh.
Oh goodness. Okay. Anyways.
I mean,
yeah.
there isn't a giant yet, but Josh has given me ideas.
Oh no. So anyways, yeah. He says,
I'm not sure that I want to be transmogrified into a giant, but
Gosh.
I can't multi-select. Oh, I can.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I did too when I saw those pictures.
In the downtime, can I make a influence-wise roll to see if I can figure out if Cantarius is coming to us from a place of weakness within the Crow Inquisitors or a place of strength?
Ooh.
I think that would just be politics-wise.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
It makes more sense with my beliefs and instincts to name it differently, but
I don't even have that skill.
I can.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what you were going for with that, though.
I think I can tell.
Right, because like knowing about influence is what that means.
Right.
It's essentially politics-wise. I just wanted to name it more in theme. That's all.
Yeah, let's do politics-wise. I think that makes more sense.
All right.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
What would be the?
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
What would be the obstacle for that, Caleb?
So you're trying to figure out what exactly again?
Whether Cantarius is coming from a place of power or weakness in Crow Inquisitors.
My will is 4.
Gotcha. Let's make it 2. Oh man, you got all 3 successes and 1 6.
Oh, you got a 6.
Oof.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
It's one of those. I don't get to mark anything. Do I get to mark a?
You mark a fate in perception and a bubble in your politics wise.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. So yeah, you know. So I mean, Connor, I guess answer that question.
I would say the answer is strength, but it's not strength politically, but strength of moral character.
That's not what I'm asking.
That's not what he's asking this.
It's really not what I'm asking. I'm asking.
That's the answer you get.
That's not what it. That's not the answer.
No.
The question is political strength. Political clout. How is he coming from? Is he coming to say, "Hey, I'm in charge of this group. Can our groups be friends?" Or is he saying, "Hey, I'm in charge of this group, but barely. I need friends so that I can get back in charge of the group."
All right,
that's the distinction I'm looking for.
What's the answer, Cantarius? That question.
Definitely the former.
Does that include Iris's group in that though? Because Iris split from you.
Okay, so you're coming from a position of strength in the Crow Inquisitors. You're fairly confident in your position. You have more influence than the factious groups.
Yes.
Not factious. Fractioning. There's a word that I've been searching for all evening and I can't find it. The dissident groups. Not fractal. Fractal's math. That's different.
I know. Just kidding.
Oh, the fractal is geography.
It said adjective of a faction is factional.
Factional?
That's what it says on here, yeah. Yep, adjective of a faction or factions, yeah. Factional.
Okay. Yeah. It's not exactly the word I'm looking for. Because, yeah, either way.
I know it, yeah.
The dissident group, so the dissidents have significantly less power than you do. in the Crow Inquisitors? You're not coming to look for help with the dissidents, is essentially the question. And the answer is no. Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, what was the
so
conversation?
you said, kill me? Right, yeah, I'm trying to remember. I lost my train of thought a while ago.
It's been a long conversation, so it's
yeah. I mean, my idea is that he's having a strong reaction to this, right? And I'm trying to figure out how to represent that, and that's what I'm
right.
So yeah, I think he leans forward. He stands up and leans forward on the table. Yeah, I think he says, a lot of men have tried to kill me, Cantarius, but I've never worked with any of them. And he says, this might be the dumbest decision I've ever made, but I think perhaps I've been too complacent of late. I think maybe I've grown slow and lost my desire, my ambition, which is totally not true. But he thinks it is. And says, I'm not quite sure what a friendship between our two peoples means yet, but I think I look forward to seeing the impact it has. And he extends his hand across the table to shake yours, which it's a big table probably, so.
He spits on your hand. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, what?
No, he takes it. He takes it.
I've been half expecting you to like try to kill Caspian like this whole time, so.
I mean, that would be really stupid.
It would.
Yes, it would.
But like when you were like, oh, the winds have changed. I was like, I don't know.
No, the winds have changed, as in I totally thought this is going to end up being a duel of wits right off the bat, and I knew I was going to totally lose that. And I was thinking, okay, if I totally lose this, I'm probably going to go to intimidate, and then he's probably going to lose his mind because he tried to just intimidate the guy he was trying to befriend in order to do what's right, and then he really just did what's wrong, and then he's probably just going to start killing people. That's what I was going to.
But it actually went well for you.
Yeah, it went really well for me. I wasn't expecting this at all. I was just going to let the the rolls go where they took me, and I succeeded.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And yeah, so I think he sort of collects himself a little bit, and there's probably more energy to his words there than there were for mine, but I was thinking about them. So, I think he looks back over at Gwen, like to see her composure.
She's very wary. You can tell that like she does not trust Cantarius whatsoever at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and I think I look over at Alrik too because I want to see his.
Yeah. All right, I'll take her out on a date. Then she'll trust me.
Yeah, you're funny.
This is all just a ploy to get closer to the girl. No.
Yeah, her 49 sisters will come and kill you because I can't. But
I'll just take them all on a date too.
Yeah. Not sure you're gonna like their idea of a date.
I think Alrik is watching closely to see how Caspian handles this, right? If Caspian's like concerned seriously, then he would be more.
He seems uncharacteristically invigorated, almost like excited about something. And it probably doesn't make any sense, but yeah. So I think he actually seems kind of in high spirits, sort of all of a sudden.
I don't know that.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I think at this point Alric's sort of stoic about the whole thing, maybe a little on the confused side, right? People aren't usually this blunt. I mean, at the same time, it's refreshing to him.
Right.
Because, hey, it kind of reminds me of hanging out with Eurogard sometimes.
Yeah.
We can be blunt.
And by which you mean you use hammers, right?
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, that was weak sauce. But
I mean, isn't it usually?
All right, we should wrap up this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
so Jared can do something before we stop.
Right. So yeah, I say.
Besides walking in a woman bathing.
Actually happen.
Yeah, I think it says.
That's why I was seeing.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
The GM was complicit in that.
Hey, the die of fate. Just let fate decide. You know, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
And who controls the die of fate?
The probability.
Anyway,
Roll 20.
I mean, is that just a fine wrap-up point, or do you have something else?
I mean, I think he's basically he sits down, sort of collects himself, lets himself calm down. His hand stops shaking, whatever. He says,
Cantarius is only slightly concerned about your hand shaking and you being excited about this. only like this much, like this much concerned.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you could roll an empathy roll to see why I'm so excited. I mean, I would kind of like that.
That would go well. Not.
Yeah, let's fail a roll here. That sounds good. What are you trying to do, buddy?
No, because I want you to find out. I think it would be more fun.
You can just tell him if you want to.
I mean, I think the tone of voice when he was talking about having lost his ambition and stuff, you get the impression that he is wanting to shake things up, right? And I think that's as much as you get without like a roll. Mm-hmm. But it's not necessarily a good thing.
Caspian's been bored, and this is something that's new.
Yeah, it doesn't seem directed at you anymore. But you seem to have caused whatever it was. But yeah, he seems to have something in mind.
Yeah. So out of character, I'm curious of what that is.
I mean, basically, he's been like, yeah, we should play the economic game and just get like a trade up going. So, and now he's just like, hey, you know what would be cool if I just owned everything in the area. And now I've got buddies and I have their weapons I can give back to them. And Eero could die and stuff, and that's a good place to start. And yeah.
Gosh, wow. So Cantarius,
he's like, look,
this is gonna become, you accidentally inadvertently help Caspian to become the emperor of this like whole region, and you basically just like commit seppuku or something.
Basically, he's like, I've been too careful about this. I haven't been taking any risks. I haven't been doing myself proud. Basically, like, you know, politicking is his thing, but now he's just been told to do his face, and someone wanted his head on the spike, and it kind of just pumped his blood up. It's like, now I kind of want to do something. So, especially because people keep trying to kill him. I think that's probably part of it too. Yep. He's like, you know what? I'm done with this.
He has a carpe diem moment.
Yeah.
Live in the moment, YOLO.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Plus, last time he tried to cover up something major, it didn't go very well. Somehow everyone figured out about it. Mm-hmm. So.
Might as well just let everyone know that he's a benevolent dictator.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll welcome you all with open arms if you serve him forever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think he says, so we're friends now. What's the first order of business then, Cantarius?
Let's build a wall.
It's gonna be huge.
Are we gonna make Eero pay for it?
I mean, what is Iris doing right now?
That's fair. That's a really good point. But yeah, so I think he just smiles, and then that's probably a good spot, unless somebody else had something to say.
Yeah,
I stab you in the face.
I imagine. Too bad there's a table in the way. I imagine
the table is the weapon that I stab you.
Grab the table, stab a table
through the face.
What's your power again, Cantarius?
More than you can possibly imagine.
My table built to
underestimated all the time.
To seat my 50 wives. Yeah, good luck with that.
He has a
yeah. No, I'll have to. I should have been quicker on that one. Is what's your power? Underestimated.
It's
I got
possible,
there eventually.
Sorry, it's possible that Gwyn or if Gwyn or Alrik have like questions, they might ask me what's going on, but we can do that later if you want, because I think Jared's been sitting.
That's a good point to point to wrap it up. That's a good scene end there, because there's there's wrap up stuff that we can do, but like it's all water under the bridge. Like we can do.
Okay, I really have to pee, so you guys do whatever the heck you need to do.